Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. Got a huge college football slate today here, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Going to be covering a bunch of matchups here, mostly ranked games. And yeah, first matchup, we got Ball State versus Georgia. Georgia opening up as a 42-point home favorite with the over-under at 52. Georgia 1-0, Ball State 0-1. Ball State looks like Brady Hunt. I'm seeing one of their, if not their starting quarterback, is out for this game, which you don't want anybody out against Georgia here. Ball State coming off a 30-point Kentucky loss in their opener. Georgia coming off a 48-7 win in their opener against UT Martin. Looked pretty good there. Not too much to say about this game. Georgia 18-0 at home. 5-0 at home against the Mid-American Conference here. Yeah, going to be hard to bet against Georgia. It's a huge spread, but I mean, 147-40 last week. 47-7 last week. If they can pretty much kind of do the same, they're going to get the cover. They can hover around 50 plus points or more. I think they're going to get the cover here. So I'll take Georgia minus 42 and throw them in a teaser as well. Next matchup, probably the best matchup of the day, I'd say. We got Nebraska versus Colorado. Colorado opening up as a 2.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 58. Nebraska coming into this matchup 0-1. Colorado 1-0. Head-to-head, Nebraska is 6-4. The over-under is 7-3 in the last 10 meetings here. Don't really see any injuries here. Nebraska losing their opener 13-10 against Minnesota. It's just how games against Minnesota go. Low scoring. And then Colorado, shocking the world really with their 45-42 win over TCU. Sanders breaking the passing record for his school. Travis Hunter looking amazing on both ends. This is going to be a fun Colorado team. A lot of eyes on them here, especially at home. Nebraska is just 2-8 on the road. 1-5 covering against Colorado here. Yeah, I just can't bet against Nebraska. Not the way Colorado looked last week. They just have much better athletes than Nebraska does. And yeah, I'm going to take Colorado minus 2.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Notre Dame versus NC State. Notre Dame opening up as a 7-point road favorite with the over-under at 50. Notre Dame coming into this matchup 2-0. NC State 1-0. Head-to-head, NC State is 2-1. 2-1 covering the spread here. Notre Dame looking good in their first two games, coming off a 56-3 win against Tennessee State. They've only given up 6 points this season. I mean, their defense has been great. Offense has been great. NC State coming off a 10-point win against UConn in their opener. Notre Dame 8-0 covering against the ACC. Yeah, I mean, they're very good. 6-1 covering on the road. Really loving this Notre Dame team. I just love Sam Hartford on the mount, or not on the mount, at quarterback here. Notre Dame just an all-around team. But, I think they're a very cheap play today. I know it's a 7-point. People might think it's a trap. I could really see Notre Dame winning by 3-4 touchdowns here. They're just a much more talented team and a lot more to prove this season than NC State. So, yeah, gonna buy half a point. Give me Notre Dame minus 6.5 and money line at home or on the road. Next matchup, we got Troy versus Kansas State. Kansas State opening up as a 15-point home favorite with the over-under at 49. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head wise, Kansas State is 1-0, winning with this average score of 41-5. Troy coming off an SFA win, 48-30. Kansas State coming off a 45-0 win against Southeastern Missouri. Looked very good in their opener. Don't see any injuries to report here. Kansas State 11-2 against the Sun Belt Conference. 4-1 covering at home here. Yeah, Kansas State just a much more talented team here. Getting a little over 2 touchdowns at home. I think it's a good spread here. I think they could definitely blow this game out the water. I don't think Troy's going to really be able to really keep up. Give me Kansas State minus 15 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Utah versus Baylor. Utah opening up as a 7-point road favorite with the over-under at 46.5. Utah coming into this matchup 1-0. Baylor 0-1. It's looking like Cam Rising is doubtful again today. Their starting quarterback. But they fared pretty well without it last week, and dominating Florida 24-11 in that game. Offense looked pretty good. Defense looked very good. And then Baylor just coming off a 28-point favorite against Texas State and losing outright by 11. Not a good look for Baylor. And new quarterback for Baylor. Blake Shapen out indefinitely right now. So Sawyer Robertson looking to get the start. Going to be a tough start against this Utah D that pretty much shut down Florida last week. And Baylor coming off a horrible loss against Texas State. A pretty good young Texas State team. Not to discredit Texas State, they played very well last week. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Baylor, and especially without they didn't even look good with. They didn't look good with their quarterback. Now they're playing with the backup. Yeah, give me Utah -7 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Youngstown State versus Ohio State. Ohio State opening up as a 41-point home favorite with the over/under at 57.5. Ohio State is 1-0 so far. Looks like Youngstown's getting their first game of the season here. These teams have played once before. Ohio State they played twice before. Ohio State is 2-0 with a combined score of 40-3. Ohio State coming off a very tough opener against Indiana, 23-3. Very tough opener. I think they're going to light it up today on the scoreboard. I mean, they have to here. Youngstown 0-5 against the Big Ten. This has got to be the game Ohio State, puts up 50 plus here. And give me Ohio State -41 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Iowa versus Iowa State. Iowa opening up as a 3-point road favorite with the over/under at 36. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, Iowa is 7-3. The over/under is just 2-8 in this series. You know how it is with Iowa games, man. They do not hit the over. Last week, a very disappointing win for Iowa, winning 24-14 against Utah State. They were 24-point favorites, and they only put up 24 points. And Iowa has this weird thing with their coach. If they don't average 25 points a game, he's getting fired. And Iowa, man, they as much as they play good defense, they just don't put up the points. And they looked good to start the game. Early on, McCarthy looked very good, and then man, they just stopped scoring. Iowa State coming off a easy win last week, 30-9. I'm really liking Iowa State, buying the 0.5 here. I'm taking Iowa State plus 3.5 at home. It could just be another close game here, and Iowa's not a team that puts up a lot of points, so I think anyone can beat them any week, honestly, if they can get in the end zone a couple times. So I'll take Iowa State plus 3.5 here. Next matchup, we got Ole Miss versus Tulane. Ole Miss opening up as a 7-point road favorite with the over/under at 66.5. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. head-to-head. Ole Miss is 6-0 head-to-head here, 4-2 covering the spread, with an average score of 39-15. Ole Miss coming off a 73-7 win against Mercer. They really put up the points last week. Tulane coming off a 37-17 win against South Alabama here. Going to be a good matchup. You're getting two ranked teams, two different kinds of teams here. You know, Ole Miss has been the much better head-to-head team. The only downside for Tulane, they're 0-11 against the SEC. They just haven't been able to beat the SEC here. It's going to be tough for them. And Ole Miss is good. This is going to be a high-scoring game. With that over at 66.5, it's a very high over/under. And I'd still probably take a shot with that over. I just think it's going to be a shootout here. I'm going to take the half a point. I'm taking Ole Miss minus 6.5. Tulane just hasn't proven they can beat an SEC school yet, and Ole Miss is still no joke. They're gonna put up points. They have a great offense, so I'm gonna take Ole Miss minus 6.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Texas A&M versus Miami. A&M opening up as a 3.5 point road favorite, with the over under at 50.5. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, Miami is 2-1 head-to-head here. A&M coming off a big 52-10 win last week against New Mexico. Miami coming off a Miami, Ohio win 38-3. Nice win for Miami. Looked very good in their opener. You know, last season these two teams did play last season. A&M winning 17-9. Definitely a winnable game last season for Miami here. Going to be a good one. You know, A&M looking to like get back on track with the bad season they had, and I don't know. I think Miami's going to give them some trouble here, and I'm liking the points with Miami here. I think this is going to be a very good game. I'm gonna take, especially a home game for Miami, a winnable game against A&M here. I'm gonna take Miami plus 3.5 at home. Next matchup, we got Texas State versus UTSA. UTSA opening up as a 14-point home favorite with the over/under at 66.5. Texas State coming into this matchup 1-0. UTSA 0-1. Head-to-head, UTSA is 4-0. 3-1 covering the spread. Yeah, Texas State, I mean, opened up against Baylor, 28-point underdogs, winning by 11. I mean, what a great start to the year for Texas State. And I think they're going to be a sleeper this season. They're going to be in a lot of close games here. Getting TJ Finley, the transfer, I believe from LSU or Auburn, one of the two. I forget off the top of my head, but man, he looked really great. So they got a very talented quarterback playing at Texas State, which you're not really going to see too often from a school like this. And man, they just moved the ball on Baylor, scored on Baylor at will. UTSA coming off a tough Houston loss. You know, it was a tough game, but 14 points. I'm liking Texas State here. The way they played last week against Baylor here, I think they're a great underdog today, and I'm going to take Texas State. I'm buying the half a point and taking them plus 14.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got UNLV versus Michigan. Michigan opening up as a 38-point home favorite with the over/under at 57. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, Michigan is 1-0 here with the score of 28-7. UNLV coming off a 30-point win against Bryant. Michigan coming off a 30-3 win against East Carolina. UNLV 0-9 against the Big Ten. 2-13 on the road here. I mean, it's probably not going to be pretty here against Michigan. This was a big spread. Michigan not able to cover last week. Weren't able to, they almost covered, but couldn't do it. Couldn't score for a while in the fourth here. I like Michigan to win here, but 38.5 points. Oh man, it's a lot. I don't doubt they're not going to pretty much dominate this game. I still think I'm going to take a shot. It's a lot of points for UNLV. I love Michigan to win here. If you throw Michigan in a teaser, man, get them around 30 or 28 points. I love that more. But I think I'm going to take a shot with UNLV plus 38 on the road here. Next matchup, we got Austin Peay versus Tennessee. Tennessee opening up as big home favorites at, let's see, minus 40, a 44-point home favorite with the over-under at 65. Tennessee coming into this matchup 1-0, and then Peay hasn't played yet this season here. Tennessee coming off a big Virginia win, 49-13. Looked very good in their opener. A 9-0 at home. These teams have played once before. Tennessee 1-0 in that matchup, and yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big win for Tennessee, and I'm really hoping they get the cover, but should be able to put up 50-60 points pretty easily on this PA team. Huge spread. That's why I recommend these teams that are in the 40s. Throw them in a teaser, like a 10-point, 13-point teaser. Get them 10. If you get any of these teams like 10 points less, you're pretty much safe, honestly. So I recommend throwing them in a teaser, but I'd still take a shot with Tennessee minus 44 at home. Next matchup, we got Tulsa versus Washington. Washington opening up as a 33-point home favorite with the over-under at 66. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Tulsa, their quarterback Braylon Braxton is questionable, so be sure to check that status here. Tulsa coming off a 42-7 win against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Washington coming off a big win against Boise State, 56-19. Looked very good in their opener. Got a great offense, solid defense here. A lot of points here, 33. I just think they're going to be able to dominate at home against Tulsa, especially with quarterback concerns for Tulsa. Yeah, I'm going to take Washington minus 33. Love them in a teaser as well. Get them at like 25 or 24. I think that's a great spot for a teaser. But we'll take Washington minus 33 at home. Next matchup, we've got Appalachian State versus UNC. North Carolina opening up as a 19.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 58. App State, or both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Yeah, App State looks like they have a new quarterback. Joey Aguilar is going to be the starter for App State here. Coming off a Gardner-Webb win, 45-24. UNC coming off a nice South Carolina win, 31-17. Looked very good in their opener here. App State 1-8 against the ACC. 1-5 covering on the road. Going to be tough against North Carolina here. I know they're kind of some in-state rivals. Really like UNC here. Yeah, especially with the quarterback concerns for App State. I like UNC to get a nice win at home here. And I'm going to take North Carolina minus 19.5 and money line in this one. Next matchup, we got SMU versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma opening up as a 16.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 69. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, Oklahoma is 1-0 here with a score of 24-10. Don't really see any injuries here. SMU coming off a big La Tech win, 38-14. Oklahoma coming off a 73-0 win against Arkansas State. Huge win for Oklahoma. Looked great in their opener. SMU 2-18 against the Big 12. They just really struggle against the Big 12 here. Oklahoma 16-2 at home. I'm really liking them this matchup. I mean, you can't really say anything bad about their opener. 73-0 is as good as it gets in college football. I'm liking Oklahoma. Going to be a high scoring affair, but I still feel like Oklahoma can win by 3 touchdowns pretty easily, and I'll take Oklahoma minus 16.5 and throw them in your money line parlays at home. Next matchup, we got Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oregon opening up as a 6-point road favorite with the over-under at 68.5. Both teams, actually, Oregon coming into this matchup 1-0. Texas Tech 0-1. Don't really see any injuries here. A couple guys questionable on both sides. Oregon coming off an 81-7 win against Portland State. Texas Tech coming off a horrible Wyoming loss. I mean, they were winning that whole game and then lost in overtime 35-33. Oregon 6-2 on the road. I mean, 7-3 covering the spread. 12-1 in September. Just reading out some stats here. Only a 6-point spread. You know, I could see people could say this is probably a trap game. But I like Oregon here. Bo Nix on the road. I still see this a game where Oregon could win by 2-3 touchdowns, if not more. You know, Texas Tech gave up 30-something points to a Wyoming offense that isn't that great. You know, Oregon's going to put up points today. I think they're a good value today. I'll take Oregon minus 6 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got a monster matchup here. We got Texas versus Bama. Bama opening up as a 7-point home favorite with the over-under at 53.5. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, Bama is 2-0. A head-to-head here. Don't really see any injuries. A couple guys questionable on both sides. Texas coming off a 37-10 win against Rice. Bama coming off a 56-7 win against Middle Tennessee State. And this is going to be a battle here because we got Texas 2-5 against the SEC. Bama 6-1 against the Big 12. 10-0 at home. I mean, they're absolute monsters at home here. I just think, Bama looked good last week. Quarterback play looked good. Offense, defense looked great. Big chance for Texas to really, this really defines their season for Texas here. If they can beat Bama, playoffs are definitely in their future. If they can get an early season win against Bama here or look great for them, going to be very tough on the road here. They got to play perfect football to beat this Bama team. I just don't think they're going to do it here, and I'm going to take the 0.5 point. I'm taking Bama minus 6.5 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got Wisconsin versus Washington State. Wisconsin coming into this, or opening up as a 5.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 57.5. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, both teams are 1-1 with a combined score of 28-19 for Wisconsin. No major injuries here. Wisconsin coming off a 38-17 win against Buffalo. Washington State coming off a 50-24 win against Colorado State. Both teams looking pretty good in their openers here. I'm really liking Wisconsin here. Look pretty good. Their offense and defense was just solid. Nothing crazy. Primed for a big season here. A tough road game against a Washington State team that's going to be able to score. Who look good in their opener. Still like Wisconsin here. I think they're the better team all around. I think it's going to be a tight one, but I'm going to take Wisconsin minus 5.5 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Southern Miss versus Florida State. Florida State opening up as a 31-point home favorite with the over-under at 53. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-0. Head-to-head, Florida State is 2-0 with an average score of 48-13. Southern Miss coming off an Alcorn State win 40-14. And then FSU coming off a dominating win against LSU 45-24. I mean, they look great in their opener. FSU 6-0 against the Sun Belt. 5-2 covering the spread in their last 7. Love Florida State here. The way they looked against LSU, man, I mean, they should be able to dominate Southern Miss today. So I'm going to take Florida State minus 31 here. In the last matchup, we got Stanford versus USC. USC opening up as a 29-point home favorite with the over-under at 69.5. Stanford coming into this matchup 1-0. USC 2-0 head-to-head. Both teams are 5-5, so it's pretty split down the middle head-to-head here. Stanford coming off a 37-24 win against Hawaii. USC coming off a 66-14 win against Nevada. 2-8 covering on the road for Stanford here. 2-4 straight up against USC. Yeah, USC definitely way better here. Much more talented. Going to be tough for Stanford, I think. Beating Hawaii, but playing a real test here, a real good team against USC. Going to be very tough here, and I'm going to take USC minus 29 at home. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.